I played a new game actually.
You did?
So while you're like, there's a lull, I'm like,
Hmm.
there's a brand new game that I've been excited about. Oh my god, I see a face in the back. um, anyway, there's a new game that came out called Stray, which is about a cat. And like I said last week, I just upgraded my PlayStation Plus Essentials
Uh-huh.
into PlayStation Plus Premium, which includes Stray. Because Stray, the
Uh-huh.
game alone, was $40. So I just upgraded for a year to Premium, which was also $40. So now I got to fuck around with that a little bit and look through a bunch of the games. And I got to say, before I get to Stray, there's a lot of fucking games on there.
Is
uh,
there?
Especially if you're like someone who doesn't have like a lot of games. Unfortunately, a lot of the games that are on there are like games that I have already played. Um, but if I was like a young buck, right? If I was like 15 years old and just got like a PS5 and got this service, oh man, it's a total uh oasis of video games on
It's
there,
a
you know.
game changer, huh?
Yeah, there's a ton of games on there. Um, you know, so that's cool. I really hope they iron out the PS3 emulation stuff because I would love native PS3 games on there as opposed to
Hmm.
the shitty streaming that we're getting for the PS3 games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it could be really cool if they really stick with it and yeah, do it well. PlayStation just has like this wealth of IP. Anyway, I got really distracted there. I played Stray.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Yeah, back to it.
Yeah,
Played straight.
Stray, and I beat Stray as well.
Nice. I hear it's pretty short.
Yeah, I think it took me about 5 hours. Um, this game I think got a pretty good Open Critic score, if I'm correct.
If you would like to scroll down to the end and
Oh, let's
spoil it.
let's take a look. Yeah, Stray got an 84, which is pretty good. I have seen online it's been a little like divisive as far as like some people didn't like it, some people did like it, some people thought the gameplay was boring or whatever, blah blah blah. I thought it was very very good. I think the thing that surprised me the most about Stray was the storytelling aspects of it. I wasn't expecting like to get connected to these like robot characters that
Hmm.
were in the game the way I did. Um, yeah, and I just love that. You get a little like Navi character almost. He's like a
Right.
little robot floating head thing. That's sort of like Navi from Zelda. But you get really attached to that guy and his story and figuring out who he is because he kind of has like amnesia and doesn't know who he was and where
Right.
he came from. And as you start to figure some of that stuff out, it's really compelling. And ultimately, it's a game about a cat getting separated from his, you know, cat friends and him trying to
Hmm.
find his way back to his cat friends. Um, and that almost kind of takes a back seat to the other stories going on because he's just a cat, so it's hard for him to really show a lot of emotions because he's just a cat. Um,
Hmm.
but for the amount of emotions they do show with the cat, they do it well. Uh, but the gameplay, I thought the gameplay could have been better. I wish it was more of like a platformer than
Uh-huh.
it was. But that being said, the vibes were immaculate. Uh, it's just the most vibey game. Like you're just the cyberpunk aesthetic and the fact that you're just a cat and you can just like lie down wherever the fuck you want and you can just jump onto people's tables and just knock their shit over. It's
Nice.
fantastic. It's just the vibes are immaculate. You find like pieces of music and you can take it to this robot that plays guitar and he'll just play the music for you. Uh, n-
Cute.
None of the puzzles are like super hard. It's just like really chill. It's just super chill. They introduce a game mechanic where you like have this light and it kills these little blobby things. And it's really basic, and it's fun for about 10 minutes. And the game acknowledges this because they're like, okay, and then it breaks like right after you get it, because it's like, yeah, that got played out real quick. You had fun with it. We're moving on now, And I appreciated that. Like, it moved at such a quick pace. It almost felt like more of a proof of concept than a full game, and not in a bad way, because this is like a really small team. I think it started out as like 2 guys and then turned into a team of like 15 or something. So my guess and my hope is that we'll see like a Stray 2 that's like more flushed out, and we just get to see this cat go on more adventures.
Interesting. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, so never mind. But I know we don't do ratings here, like ever. We absolutely hate
Yeah.
ratings, and they're a stupid waste of time. But if you had to, I know this is painful, but if you had to rate this game, say on a scale from, we'll just pick something random, one to 10.
Okay.
What do you think you'd give it?
Yeah, I don't do scores, but if I did do scores,
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Like,
Nice.
it's really solid. If you can get past the fact that it's only like 5 hours, yeah, that I think that's the biggest issue with it, is that it's short. But it's also what makes it good, because if it was any longer than that,
It would kind of get dragged out.
it would get dragged out. It'd get boring, because the mechanics are really basic. It's not like you're jumping wherever you want. You have to go up to a thing and you'll see like a little X up here and you can jump there. So it's not like you can just jump whenever you want. It's pretty basic. And for a 5-hour game, that's great. I would not recommend paying like $40 for it. If you do what I did, where you like upgrade your PlayStation Essentials to premium, totally worth it. I wouldn't pay $40 full price for this game just because it's so short, but the vibes are immaculate. In the chat here, GhostHand246 says, I want a Stray-like game for every single major mammal animal. Give me Bear Life Simulator Cyberpunk now.
There was a game.
I like that idea. I'd fuck with that 100%.
There was a game that was on the PlayStation Vita called Tokyo Jungle, where you played as different animals in a New York City apocalypse scape. It's a very, very good game. And that's kind of like what you're talking about. So check that out.
Check it
It's
out.
called Tokyo Jungle. It's really cool. Really cool. Obviously, it's older, so it's not going to be like Stray exactly, but the concept is something to like what you're thinking.
It would be cool though if these guys, like, if their next game is like you're a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like we did
And
the
they
cat.
just go through go through the animal kingdom sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're a bee.
You're a bee. You're a rat. Yeah. I think bear would be tough, just because like bears want to kill everything.
Elephant.
Ghost Hand says Stray would be 11 out of 10 if it had drop out multiplayer like Journey. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I don't know how you'd implement it though. I really don't, unless there were other cats.
Just other cats roaming around.
But you can't do that. It ruins the story of the game, because the whole game is you trying to find your cat friends. And then if you find other cat friends,
what if it's a different story though? What if it's like,
well, then it wouldn't be Stray.
Help these people, these robot people out,
I like the idea of Stray too, as like, if you own a cat, especially one that like goes outside from time to time, which I wouldn't recommend, by the way. If you have a cat, don't let it outside. It's a good way to spread diseases and kill bird populations.
Kill all of the birds.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't do that. But if you do that, I just imagine it's like you have this cat and he disappears and goes on this adventure, and then he comes back. You have no idea this cat just went on this like massive adventure, and
it's like a Homeward Bound sort of situation.
Yeah, totally. Or like Toy Story. It's like your toys just went on this like crazy adventure. You have no idea,
Yeah.
So I like it for that. I do. The one thing I think would have made the game an 11 out of 10 is if they added like some customization stuff where you could like put little sweaters on your cat,
That
little
would be cute.
little vest, because you're wearing like a little
Little hats.
backpack. You're wearing like a little backpack thing that the the robot kind of lives in, and he kind of flies out and charges in it. It would be cool if you could customize that. But it's really cute when he puts that thing on you, because he does like the cat thing where he's like uncomfortable with it on,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of like crawls around for a minute. It's so cute, dude. They nail the cat aesthetic. Um, anyway, that's my Stray review.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.